appreciate y'all's patience.
Yep. Are y'all ready when Dale points at us?
All right, we'll go ahead and call this to order and apologize for the delay in getting started tonight. Recognition of guests, the first item here, and we do have Mr. Robbie Asbury, Hancock County Superintendent, new to the program there.
Bless your heart.
I know, we're glad to have you here, and glad to have you observing, and I hope that your board is as wonderful as ours is. And roll call, all 5 board members are here. Under routine consent actions, we'll approve the minutes from the special called meeting September the 8th, 2021, approve the treasurer's orders, approve payment of bills, approve the school fees for the 21-22 school year, approve the board members to attend the KSBA Winter Symposium. That'll be in December 3rd and 4th, 2021 in Louisville.
So moved.
Joy makes the motion. Vanessa seconds. Any other discussion? All those in favor? We'll go to student presentation and recognitions.
All right, well, we have a lot to be proud of. I'd like to congratulate BCHS student Claire Thornhill for being chosen by the Kentucky YMCA to serve as Cabinet Secretary for the Kentucky Youth Assembly, KYA. Claire went through an in-depth application process, competing against numerous applicants statewide for one of the few coveted positions. She'll be representing BCHS in this leadership position as students across Kentucky come together to model state government. Congratulations to our Lady Tiger soccer team for placing district runner-up,
Very good.
advancing to the regional tournament for the first time in school history, and making the regional semifinals for the first time in school history. A special congratulations to Chloe Peterson, Marcy Rogers, and Sydney Tucker for making the all-district team.
That's good stuff.
Congratulations to the Breckinridge County Marching Band for winning first place in their class at Logan County September 25th. Percussion ranked best in their class. The Marching Band also won the Spirit Award, so congratulations to everyone. Congratulations to the Fighting Tiger golf team for finishing 4th out of 21 teams in the Region 2 tournament. The Tigers were led by Shelton Smith, who shot 83 and earned the 7th individual qualifying spot for the state tournament. And congratulations to the Lady Tiger golf team for placing 5th out of 18 teams in the Region 2 tournament. The Lady Tigers improved 26 shots from July when they first started competing this season. And that concludes recognitions.
You'd have to add a 1 to the front of my golf score or a 0 to the end.
Yeah.
I could not compete with them.
I can't hit the ball.
We'll go on to discussion and action items. Under A, instruction and curriculum, we'll have the Head Start report.
I ain't seen him sneak
Go Jerry.
Hi,
Hey,
Jerry.
Hello, everybody.
We're so happy to see you.
Happy to see you all again too. Teachers are finishing up their first round of assessments with students. The results will be communicated to parents at upcoming parent-teacher conferences. Head Start is assisting us with developing a new professional development plan, and they continue to train our new instructional coach and our family service coordinator. And just a reminder that next month is November, so we have our annual governance training, so please be prepared and ready. So,
Gosh, that rolls around so quick.
it's a lot faster than paychecks.
A lot faster than paychecks.
So that's my report.
Thank you, Jerry.
Thanks, Jerry. Thank you.
Thank you. And item 2 will be the spring 2021 state testing and fall map testing reports.
All right, Dr. Broadbent's going to come forward and go over this with us. There you go.
Thank you, guys. Oh, you got the clicker for you? Thank you, sir. Sure.
All right, you're good.
All right. We're just going to take a little bit of time and go over last year's spring testing results, state testing results, and then talk a little bit also about the fall map testing results from the school year. As you all may be aware, it's been changed from K-Prep to the Kentucky Summative Assessment. Okay. I'm going to try to go through this fairly quickly. There was a waiver, so the test results do not count against us or as accountability this school year. And also the testing is a little bit different in the fact that every child that tests counts. Whether they were there 100 days or 1 day, they count. Okay, and that definitely changes things. Reporting for this school year, again, no accountability. Participation information, just a few items on there, climate safety, opportunity to learn, graduation rate, all that was included. Again, but there's no accountability piece to it. Differences, this is something KDE certainly wanted to make sure we communicate with the boards of education. There was a lot of factors that impacted how kids performed on their state test this year. Obviously, a pandemic. The process is a little bit different. It was a much shorter test, only took 60 minutes, where it used to have maybe 3 or 4 parts. There was only 1 part much shorter test, not a good sample. And then again, it talks about it not being very comparable for student achievement, but more of a temperature check so we can track and then move forward and recover as schools. I want to share some information, a broad spectrum of information quickly. One of those that you'll find on our school report card will be our kindergarten Brigant screener. Every child when they enter kindergarten takes a screener. You can see that we're very comparable with the state of Kentucky as a whole, actually ahead of the state in almost every area, just slightly behind academically. And as far as kindergarten readiness, about half of our kids, according to last year's testing, keep that in mind, okay, we're showing they were ready for kindergarten. Now, that's very close to where the state average lies right now. Moving forward, our students performing in reading, elementary, middle, and high, you'll see very comparable also with state data, slightly higher in elementary, middle level. In mathematics, and we've definitely seen through all the data, state testing data and our math data, I'll show you here in a little bit, math has probably taken one of the hardest hits from this pandemic. And you know, math is definitely scaffolded, and that face-to-face, more instruction makes a big difference in the area of mathematics. You can see across the board that we're very comparable with state here. In science, across the board, we perform higher than the state at elementary, middle, and high school level. In writing, you'll see the elementary level is comparable. At the middle, higher for our middle school, and then our high school did a phenomenal job. Almost 70% of our kids scored proficient or distinguished in writing. Our ACT, you'll see that we were slightly higher in English, slightly lower in reading, math, and science. Our composite score was just 0.3 of a point from the state average. Graduation rate, phenomenal graduation rate in compared to the state. As you can see, over 4.8, about 3%, and then about 3.7% higher in average of Breck County versus the state of Kentucky. So that's outstanding. I wanted to also really kind of highlight, we take a quality of school climate and safety survey, and our school district did a phenomenal job. Our kids obviously feel very safe at school. I think that says a lot about the environment, our buildings, and our teachers, and our staff, and our community. It's a caring place, over 90%, in the areas of caring and safety. Opportunity to learn, remote, what that was about was that they felt like they had the opportunity to learn even when they were in a remote setting. And then opportunity with technology, they had adequate technology and access to technology during the remote setting. Accountability beginning this school year. This year, accountability takes effect. So this year, we're held accountable for how students perform, okay? Starting this year in the spring. This year, it will be based just on student achievement. Growth is not a factor this year. This will be the baseline. The last year does not count in any form towards accountability. This will be the first year, okay? So today will be based, or this year will be based completely on achievement. Starting next year, it will be achievement and growth up to that point, okay? Our indicators will, as you can see in reading and math, science, social studies, and writing, which is back pretty much the way we used to do things. English language proficiency will now be also added to. Quality of school climate and safety, post-secondary readiness, and graduation rate. That will be all, those will all be indicators moving forward. So that's state testing from last year, okay? Moving forward, and something I believe is a little bit more reliable data, our MAP testing that we just took this fall. I want to show you just a little bit of information. You'll see that, again, mathematics is a little bit less in the academic achievement area versus our reading, yet these scores are much higher than what you saw for state testing last year. And again, these are, and just to give you a share what this is students on grade level in the area, in the entire district. So that's every kindergarten in the whole school district. Again, and that's also like in reading and math, okay? Moving on to middle school level, 6th, 7th, and 8th graders, you see the same effect. Math took the biggest hit. Again, those are higher numbers that you saw in state scores based on state assessments. And again, this is a baseline data. This is just this fall. This is just getting the school year started, where we're starting out. This is district on grade level based on MAP data. Elementary and middle and high, this is all together, okay? Gives you a district total of 62% and math 53% currently. Now, what we would like to do, and Dr. Carter and I talked about this, is once we take the winter MAP testing, I'll come back and talk about the growth that we've made since fall. So I'll come back, share a little bit about how the students perform in the winter, how they perform in the spring. So we're going to continue to monitor student achievement. We do that every time we have MAP testing or any other major assessments. And then talk about all the growth that they make throughout this school year. Okay. Do you all have any questions?
Any thoughts on, and I realize the state testing is just a temperature check, but we knocked it out of the park at the high school on writing, but yet our reading was not so great. It was always my understanding the reading and the writing kind of went together, so.
They were two different grade levels, testing and reading and writing. That's something to keep in mind.
That's what I didn't catch, okay, thank you.
Okay. All right. Any other questions?
At least you know I was paying attention.
Yes, you were. I appreciate that. Thank you. All right, well, thank you guys. Appreciate
Thank you.
it.
Thank you, Dr.
Thank
Rob.
you. We'll move on to item 3, which is appoint a board member to serve on the calendar committee for the 22-23 school year.
Last year, the Honorable Rick Taylor served as the board representative.
Honorable Rick Taylor.
I second the motion.
Okay, we got it.
Rick,
I
are
know
you
my
good with
way
serving
around the
on that
room, so I'm
committee?
okay with that.
And we'll,
Got me
we
again,
don't need a motion for that, we just, okay. All right, then item 4, with that information, we'll approve the 22-23 school calendar committee.
You have the roster in your packet, now just add Mr. Rick
We'll
Taylor
add
to it.
Honorable Taylor to that next.
Yep, we did Mike have anything you wanted to add?
Mike, do you have anything you'd like to speak
No,
to?
not other than the Chamber of Commerce director is vacant right now, and so they're looking at putting a board member probably on the committee, because the state says who has to be on the committee, and the Chamber of Commerce is one of those. So with them not having a director this time, I think that shows to be announced or something.
It does.
They assured me that we'll have a board member that will represent, so we're good.
Joy makes a motion.
Second.
Mark seconds. Any other discussion? All those in favor? Move on to B, operations. Under number 1 would be to hear the update on the high school project.
Well, hello, Kenny.
Hi, Kenny.
Good evening.
Look at you joining us here today.
All
are you
scooped
all?
up and everything.
Thanks for coming.
Sure, it's good to see you all. I do have a brief update to share with you, and I'm going to start off by apologizing because the photos, we take those at the progress meeting, and there's been a lot done since the progress meeting. So we'll just jump right into it. I pushed it the wrong way, didn't I? Or did I do that?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I did.
Kenny.
All right, how about that? Okay, we'll start over at the JROTC edition there at the, I promise I didn't touch it.
There you
that
go.
time. Okay.
Oh,
And
yeah,
this
that's way
is-
behind.
This is a perfect example because the walls are 10 feet tall now.
Yeah.
I was gonna
windows
say,
are
I've got a
framed.
marker, you
Yeah.
can kind of draw me, draw the wall.
Yeah, and door frames are in, so, you know, a lot of progress made in just, I don't know, 2 weeks, something like that. So, really work, it's changing rapidly on this end of the building. And then, this is the main entry into the stadium. And one of the things that, you'll see really start to change is the storm work is now going on.
Okay.
Now, it's starting at the other end, and they're hole ramming rock, so it's a little bit slow, but that's sort of the last thing that makes it look like, you know, are they ever gonna finish the stadium, because there's a lot of gravel and stuff out there that they just had to wait on the storm structures to arrive, so that's ongoing
Yes,
now.
I'm already getting questions about that. I don't think they're gonna be able to play ball there.
Well, it's gonna change pretty rapidly now.
Yeah.
And this inside work going on with the fitting up of the restrooms, the fixtures are being installed, finished painting, so it's starting to really look good out there. You know, the rain hadn't been good for some things, but for the outfield, it's been fantastic. So we've got a really good stand of grass out there and finishing up the dugouts. And then this has changed dramatically too. This is inside the commons area where the grand staircase is going to be. Well, the grand staircase is there now. So they've actually got that installed, and they're bringing in the concrete for the pans of the stairs by the wheelbarrow load. So it's a little bit slow, but the stairs are in, and they're finishing up the concrete work in there. And I'd say by the next time I'm with you all, it'll dramatically have changed. So we're seeing good progress there as well. And then there's the base of the stair. The stair, you really have to stand there to see what it's going to do for that whole commons area. It's going to be a really nice focal point. And then I think too, just the size of it is going to make moving up and down from one level to another so much better
Yeah.
and safer as well. And so these are just the contractor's notes that John Hagan put together of what was being done, and just a lot of work going on. Now they shifted work to the downstairs restrooms adjacent to the gym so they could get those knocked out for the volleyball that's going to be going on. Then they'll move back into the media center. The media center, there's work going on, but it's still, it kind of looks like a disaster zone right now because of everything that's going on in there. But I would say again, by the time I get here again, we'll see a dramatic change in that as well. And then I don't have a photo of the front, but the
Oh, it looks nice.
it's starting to really shape up now with the
got to see it
safety
today in
entrance
person.
and
It's
everything,
great.
so.
I was able to send some pictures to them.
Oh, good.
Well, everyone who has a smartphone. I was able to send pictures
Rick
too.
just hasn't walked down there, he's so happy.
He's there every day.
Stick people
so.
in crayons.
Sorry, sorry,
We
Rick.
fly, make airplanes and fly to Rick.
I'd expect no less.
So I know there's been some frustration as we've had some delays in materials getting to the site and, you know, labor issues, but they're really putting a full court press on things now. And even, they're working till dark. They were outside and it was getting dark.
You know, Kenny, getting dark at 5:30 don't cut it.
Well, when they're used to leaving at 3, we get a couple extra
Okay.
hours.
Hey, well, I was at Ohio County the other night, and they got a whole new gym that's on hold, because they can't get the material.
We're seeing,
Yeah.
you know, delays like that too for structural steel and things. So, you know, as long as we've got the necessities we need to wrap this up, I know, you know, we're kind of in the home stretch of it. So, feel pretty good about the progress they're making though.
Great.
So, and that is
Okay.
it for the,
All right.
Kenny, we thank you.
oh, you're welcome.
Good,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
It's good seeing you all
Good
too.
to see you.
With that, we'll move on to item 2, which is approve the BCHS renovation project change orders.
Yeah, these two change orders net each other out. It does have to do with material availability and the tile work that went on in the front security vestibule. We ended up, Tarket couldn't get the material that we needed, so we ended up going with another manufacturer, Mohawk. So we're moving money off the Tarket contract onto Spectra, who had to purchase the new material. So I just asked you to approve both change orders.
Vanessa makes the motion.
Second.
Mark seconds. Any other discussion there? All those in favor? Swap that over. Item 3 would be approve the authorization for the superintendent to utilize remote instruction days.
Senate Bill 1 in the special session did provide up to 20 remote days for school districts to utilize during the pandemic if you need to close one school down and leave the rest open as an example of that. In that language, though, it does ask school boards to authorize superintendents to be able to do that. So I'm asking for authorization to be able to do that if it does come up. Fortunately, our quarantine situation has been very minimal in recent weeks, and so hopefully we will not be in a position to have to do that. But in the event that we do, I'd ask for approval to be able to do so, to keep as many students in person as possible.
Make the motion.
Mark makes the motion.
Second.
Rick seconds this one. Any other discussion there? All those in favor? We'll pass that one along. Move on to item 4, which is approve the Kentucky Department of Education $100 stipend for the COVID-19 vaccinated school district employees.
The Kentucky Department of Education is providing a $100 stipend for all school district employees who become vaccinated by December the 1st. So, but it does require board approval for our district to be able to participate in that. So,
One-time stipend? One-time?
One-time stipend, yes, sir.
For any vaccinated, no matter if it was 6 months ago or tomorrow.
Yeah, if you are considered fully vaccinated by December the 1st.
Just asking.
Mhm.
Make the motion.
Mark makes the motion,
Second.
You could.
and Rick seconds. Any other discussion there? All those in favor? Move on to item 5, which is review and discuss the district energy management.
All right.
Dun, dun, dun.
Really excited to welcome Mr. Andrew Servant to, he and I believe Mr. Moreland are gonna probably tag team.
Well, I'm gonna let Andrew talk most of the
All right.
Yep.
Hi, Andrew. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been. How are you all doing?
Get to hear your voice, but not see you.
Yeah, that's right. I think Dale's pulling up the presentation for it.
What you doing there, Dale?
Well, you know, that's the wrong one up here.
I can present on those slides if you want me to, but it might be a
Certified
little bit of an adventure.
Nobody wants to sit through that, I can promise you.
All right, so I wanted to share with the board the year 1 update on the energy project that we performed last year across the district. Great results overall. I'm really pleased with both the energy and the financial savings that the project showed. We'll discuss those in just a second, but I wanted to share with you all just a brief reminder of what kind of scope of work we did. The centerpiece of the project was the geothermal HVAC renovation at the high school. That was your biggest energy spend across the district and was a real source of opportunity, especially coupling with the athletics project. So that was the main piece that we performed. Some equipment replacement at Custer Elementary, district-wide control system for your HVAC systems, and also the air purification devices that we installed district-wide to, especially with the pandemic going on, really improve the indoor air quality across the district. Also, LED lighting upgrades district-wide. So all of your schools, all of your district-owned facilities now have LED lights in them. Just very energy efficient, very good quality. Solar arrays at Hardinsburg and Irvington elementary schools. High efficiency plumbing fixtures at Breckinridge County Middle School, Ben Johnson and Custer. And then some utility account saving measures. We removed some lease lighting that was on your main campus, refed the power for an account that provided the lighting at the football stadium, just cost saving measures for how your utility rates are structured. And overall the results were we increased the energy efficiency of your district by 56% in the course of this project. So just sharing some pictures, this is geothermal well field going in under what is now the baseball field. So all of this piping for the HVAC system at the high school is covered by the new baseball field that Kenny and that team have been working on. Before, in the mechanical room at the high school, you had two enormous chillers that were the biggest energy users district-wide. Those have been replaced by small geothermal heat pumps now. This was a before picture of the gym in the high school, and then the new lighting that we installed in this project.
It looks amazing in there.
And I think it even looks better than this, coupled with the other capital project with the aesthetic improvements across that as well. So a really sharp looking facility. And then similarly at the middle school, this was before to after. And then just some common instructional spaces, a classroom at the high school, cafeteria, and solar array at Irvington Elementary, and also a Hardinsburg Elementary. So, what did this equate to in terms of actual savings and energy performance for your schools? So we're going to use a term called EUI to discuss that. So that stands for energy use intensity. It's a way to describe how energy efficient a building is built, compare buildings of different sizes. Just take the total amount of energy that a building uses and divide by its square footage. So this is a metric that's used across the industry. KSBA tracked this for every school district in Kentucky for many years. And here's what the rankings were before. So the last year that we have data for was 2018 when they stopped collecting this. But at that time, Breckinridge County Schools was down here at 121 with an EUI of 62.7. Following this project, 25.8, which based off of these numbers from 2018 would make Breckinridge County Schools the most energy efficient school district in the state of Kentucky.
That's incredible.
So the centerpiece of that, like we discussed, was the high school. So the way to read these charts, the orange line is the baseline. That's what your energy use looked like in the 3-year average before our project. The blue line is what CMTA guarantees your performance would be after the project, and the green is where it actually came in. So you can see in all of these charts, lower is better, right? And so you can see we cut the energy use at the high school on electricity by down to about a quarter of what it was before. And gas down to about less than a tenth of what it was before in the system change out. So you see we reduced energy at the high school by about 75% in the course of this project with the renovation and the lights.
I don't think they're all full of our little
And similar story at the middle school. You see the energy the electrical usage cut by about 3/4 there as well. Overall energy dropped by about half at the middle school. Custer Elementary, you can see that gas usage went up a little bit from the cold winter, the increased ventilation that we had at with COVID-19, but the electrical usage dropped dramatically. You can see we far exceeded our guarantee here as well. And a similar story at Ben Johnson Elementary. Talking about the solar arrays at Hardinsburg and Irvington. So in this chart, we guaranteed a production level. This blue line right here is what our guaranteed production level was, and we exceeded our production guarantee by about 10% with these solar arrays. So these arrays produced about 10% more electricity than guaranteed at Hardinsburg Elementary. And you can see equivalent to 1,000 trees planted and 137,000 pounds of CO2 emissions saved. Very similar story at Irvington Elementary. You can see 7.5% above the guarantee with production, and very similar numbers. Great performance overall with these two arrays. So this is taking your district as a whole. That you went from 57 EUI with the buildings that were included in this project. So the number in the table that we looked at was 2018 numbers. These were what the average was for the 3 years before this project. Cut it by more than half as far as actual performance goes. So what do the dollars look like though? That was energy. What does dollars look like? In the 3-month construction period and then the 1 month or the 1 year, first year guarantee, over $424,000 of energy savings across the district. You can see driven by that $200,000 year one savings at Breckinridge County High School. And that's compared to $267,000 of savings at the guarantee level. So substantially exceeded that during this period. And so this is the same numbers, but broken down a little bit different way, looking at what was gas and what was electrical savings. But again, the number to look at is that $424,000, $156,000 in excess savings that just goes straight into the district's general fund. 59% above the guarantee. And overall, we guaranteed a 44% reduction in energy use, but based off of the actual bills, and all these numbers are just pulled directly from the utility bills before and after, 56% reduction district-wide. I just want to show this again because I'm so proud of it. The 121st.
Me too.
I still like it. I still like it. That's amazing.
So everyone was great to work with at the district. Michael and the facility staff have all been great, and I'm excited to see how this is just going to perform in year 2 and 3 and beyond. So I appreciate having the opportunity to share this with you all.
We were really, I mean, obviously we're ecstatic about how it turned out. You know, we had a few bumps in the road as our maintenance staff, and we were trying to learn how to operate the settings and the new controls. Andrew, what he's not telling you is probably received more text messages in August than I did about building issues, and he was great about trying to adjust buildings, you know, as we received messages from staff. You know, we're learning how to use it too, is what I'm getting at, and that's what we're going to learn on this second year is, you know, how can we learn to operate this thing better, and Andrew's already set up some training with our maintenance guys to, you know, to further that mission. So it's been really a success for us. I've been really happy with the service so far.
I love it.
You did good, Michael.
That's amazing. I'd love to see that in the paper.
Yeah, but you and Dr. Carter are the ones that brought the idea to us, and so.
Well, we're number one, that's all I care about.
And now you know why we get along so well.
And save the money, Michael.
Right.
Do you all have any questions for
No, you did
Andrew?
fine.
No,
Thank
Andrew,
you.
Great job.
It's good to see you.
Thank you,
so
Andrew.
much.
Thank you.
All right, so we'll move on to item 6, is act on expulsion.
I move to expel 3 BCHS students for the violation of the code of conduct for 18 weeks.
I'll second.
Joy makes the motion, Mark seconds. Any other discussion? All those in favor? Item 7, approve the emergency certification for Abigail Steeritt to work at the middle school FMD teacher position.
We have a vacant teaching position at the middle school, and Ms. Noble, I don't know if you want to add anything, but currently we do not have any qualified.
There are two requirements for EPSB to approve this, and one is the applicant has to have a bachelor's degree, and then we have to have, the second is we have no qualified applicants, and then it requires board approval.
So, I'm sorry, look,
And we meet those.
Okay.
So-
We meet those two pieces of criteria.
so Ms. Sterrett doesn't have a bachelor's degree?
No, she does.
She does, okay, I misunderstood you.
No, that's, any applicant that we have for the emergency certification has to have
Has
a
to,
bachelor's degree.
gotcha, I misunderstood.
Let me point out too that, it's for the remainder of this year only.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, those have to be approved each year.
Move to approve.
Joy makes the motion.
I second.
Mark seconds, he beat you to it. Any other discussion there? All those in favor? Item 8 is approve the annual district elementary school all-star teams.
We have not had these in several years, but in the event that they want to do this, I do recommend approval.
Vanessa makes the motion.
Second.
Rick will second. Any other discussion there? All those in favor? Let them kids play ball. We'll move on down through all the hires and rehires and retirements. BCEA, BCSP, nothing there. Superintendent's report.
All right, I'll be quick, just that this week we've returned from fall break and the second grading quarter for the school district is underway. Students and staff have returned to school after a terrific break and are doing a great job of getting started. Report cards for the first grading quarter are going home this week and next week in our schools. Midterm progress reports for the second grading quarter is just around the corner. They'll be going home with students the week of November the 8th, so less than a month away. And that concludes the superintendent's report.
Mr. Superintendent, question for you. Mr. Stankiewicz is leaving from the alternative school coordinator to assistant principal at GES. Who is taking the alternative school coordinator's position?
Mrs. Tiffany Tabor.
That's right.
Okay, Rick.
Move to adjourn.
Rick makes the motion for adjournment.
I'll second.
Mark seconds, and we're all in favor?
Yep.
And we're adjourned. Until Dale stops playing with the computer.
Now.